I actually don't mind the album art. I think it's kind of cool. I'm kind of a sucker for like black and white pictures if it's the right artist.
Yep.
And
I'm
this
mad
one's
at it.
pretty cool. I like that they got the, especially because lately I've been like really getting more into this photography stuff.
Some nice
So I've been
dynamic
like,
lighting in that shot.
yeah, and the way that they have the car in the back with the headlights, and yeah, whoever shot this picture did a good job.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
nothing to complain about.
I agree there. Album art, really dope. Not mad at it at all. Album title, generic.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Like a Christian band would like name their debut album this New Beginnings. Like,
Right.
come on.
Or like, Taylor Swift totally could have made an
There
album
would,
called New
yeah.
Beginnings.
If Taylor Swift's next album was New Beginnings, would any of us be surprised?
Wouldn't shock me in the
Yeah.
slightest.
So I don't like that at all, especially because while his last album title wasn't the most abstract thing, I thought There You Have It. I guess that's kind of a blank. Like you don't really know what that means right off rip, but it is a little bit more like, ooh, what does that mean exactly, or how will I hear it in the album? New Beginnings just means new beginnings, it's a new project.
Right.
Yeah. Also, his album covers so far have been dope because the last one was dope.
I like that last one a lot.
Yeah, that last one is cool. So definitely a conceptual artist with imagery, storytelling, powerful messaging, and intellectual thoughts through rhymes. Okay, we're listening to one of those kind of rappers. So, naturally, I think we raise the bar for someone like Reason because we know what kind of like lyrical prowess is there, what kind of desire to tell stories, to do like captivating things with the music. We know that desire is
Also,
there.
his.
So, sorry.
So sorry. Go ahead.
We
Sorry. Go
know
ahead.
we know that desire is there for that artist, so we grade based on how much they achieve based on that. And that's what I like about how we normally rate these projects. So don't be surprised if we don't love every moment of this. That doesn't necessarily mean any of it is terrible. I don't think anything on this album is terrible. But anyways, what were you going to say?
I also have to weigh this against the fact that like he's a TDE artist.
Exactly.
I'm waiting on albums from Isaiah Rashad, Kendrick, and SZA this year. I've gotten none of them.
And you get this Reason project. That is foul that they do.
But I got a Reason. I know they give me the Reason. So that's a little bit waited to like you said, not a horrible album, but just like kind of disappointing. Like,
I feel you, and I did think about that like when I actually started listening to this album. And to be fair, just disclaimer, I listened to this album an hour ago. Gave it a good listen. Like I think I have plenty to say about it, but I mean I'm still pretty fresh on this. So I'm just coming off of listening to this. I just got done with that. It is one of the first things that did come to my mind, like you said, Trent, was, man, we're hoping to get this Kendrick album. Also, we got to talk about Kendrick. Let's not forget that. We're talking SZA single out. Ready. Okay, these two artists are making a lot of noise about their albums. They're ready to go. Isaiah Rashad is on this fucking album, so like he's in public. He was just posting on Instagram the other day. I'm hoping that means sooner rather than later we getting that Isaiah Rashad album too. But of course, they're gonna throw Reason in while we're like absolutely rabid for something. On a light week too. Ain't shit dropped this week in hip hop more popular than this guy. He was the biggest release this week, it felt like. Because he's a TDE artist, and so I mean, good for him. More power to him, to be honest. But all right. Here's one thing that we mentioned in the Dave East review that I think plays really true in this album. Although I think this album, I'll just start out by saying this is a better album to me than the Dave East. This is significantly better than the Dave East. He's better than Dave East. The features that are on this album are better than the features that are on that album. Cool. We got that. I do think this album, though, in respond to this Trent, is a little carried by some of the moments on it being
Hmm.
a lot of the features.
Yeah, I think so. And even I'll go a step further and say I think the features tried to carry the album, but I think sometimes the features were even a little stifled. Like, I don't know, we got the like full potential out of some of those features. But
I
I agree
am,
with what you're saying, though.
yeah. Well, let's talk features because I think that's an exciting place to get in on this album. There are some cool things that I think Reason did individually. It's not completely absent of moments that I think are excellent, dynamic, interesting, powerful by him. I want to say that too. But my first listen, I'm not gonna lie, I came away feeling like that Schoolboy Q feature was not bad, pretty dope. Way more of like how I want to hear him, because that's another problem we've been having with Schoolboy Q is just like what we're hearing him on and what his tracks sound like. That was closer to what I want.
Hmm.
Rhapsody caught a body. I think Rhapsody
Rhapsody was
absolutely
great.
caught a body on that beat. I mean, and that's why like that song is a little bit hard for me. If we're talking album experience, because again, we just mentioned this. I'm going to like some songs on this album. Y'all are going to like some different songs on this album. And of course, if you really like 10 out of the 14 tracks on here, then that's a good album to you. But if we're talking album experience, I do think it's kind of crazy that like he's a good rapper. He's getting bodied on here, like on some of these songs. Like on the Rhapsody one, I mean, she just took it over for. I mean, she went for 5,000 bars or whatever.
Hmm.
I really like the Ab Soul feature. I thought the Ab Soul feature, a little like just kind of him doing his flashy thing, but I thought he sounded really good on that particular track. Then we get to the Vince Staples. I can't tell if the Vince Staples feature or the Rhapsody feature is my favorite right now. But those were the two biggest like walking bodies I think on here. Okay, when he said what'd he say? I used the macaroni, turn him into Machiavelli. Um, excuse me. He ate that track. Then we get to Isaiah Rashad and JID. Cool combination. Thought the Isaiah Rashad one was amazing. Mereba, she did Mereba. She sounds great. So out of those ones, Trent, which ones did you love? Which ones did you think were like kind of underwhelming? Because you made it sound like there were a couple that
I
were
thought
good.
Rhapsody was great. I thought Absol and Vince were good, and Mareba was pretty good. I didn't like the Schoolboy song at all. I don't. He was fine. I just did not like that song. That was probably one of my least favorite songs on the whole thing, honestly. Just whole
Slower.
song wise. And then the Isaiah and Jid song, just like so underwhelming. Like
Really?
not not because I like think that these three guys can make like an incredible song, really. Because I don't like love Jid with Isaiah as like a combo. Like I feel like that's kind of an odd
Hmm.
pairing, but they use the Pennyroyal beat, the MF Doom
Yeah.
beat. It's like so overplayed. I just thought it like I turned it on and was like ready to hear something really cool. I think it would have been cooler if Isaiah, honestly, and I love Isaiah. I know everyone on here probably knows how much I like him. I think it probably would have been a cooler song if Isaiah had just done a hook. Even though his verse is really good, I just think like, especially starting the song with his verse, I don't know. It just seemed weird to me to like, I don't know. The whole song just was formatted weird, and I just didn't like that they used that Doom beat, and it was just such a. I came off of it and was like, dang, I didn't really like that much. But then the Mereba song that follows it up is really good. So I don't know.
So
It's either between
Rhapsody.
Schoolboy or
Yeah.
that Isaiah Jid song that I just don't love. And then the Rhapsody is probably the best. Maybe the Absol. I do like the Absol song a lot.
I'm gonna go with
Feature wise, Rhapsody is the best feature.
I'm
But
gonna go with
feature
Vince. I'm
song,
gonna
like
go with
just
Vince
song
as
wise,
the.
I think I like
Okay.
the actual song.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Vince as my favorite verse on
This was
this
really good too.
project, and that song I like a lot. Let's see. My rebuttal to you, sir, about this song "Extinct," featuring Isaiah Rashad and JID. I don't know, man. It was pretty fire to me. I know it's kind of it's just a straight up reuse of the Pennyroyal beat. I have been waiting to hear some Isaiah Rashad, but here's the thing about the Isaiah Rashad verse. It kind of just delivers on the nose what you have been starving for in like an Isaiah Rashad feature as of late. I feel like when he jumps on a song, he doesn't always just give you a verse. Not like that. Sometimes he shows up on a song and does not rap at all. And so I think
That's
this
what I
was.
like. I love that about him, though.
I like that
So,
too.
like,
I think I liked this so much because it was finally that. It was finally a verse right off the rip. You know, he just comes in, and it's a beat that I'm familiar with and I like. So I do
see,
think
that's the thing is like I totally would be with you.
it doesn't accomplish as
one-
much as some of the other better features.
I would be with you on that if one the beat wasn't the Pennyroyal beat, because I think it's too limiting for all three of these artists. Really, I just don't think like that beat is like obviously really instantly recognizable, really popular. Joey Badass used it. It fits like it's a boom bap beat.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't think that Jid and Rashad and Reason are like they could do something way cooler over a more dynamic and interesting beat. I just thought it was really limiting for them. And then to go even further and limit them with that weird refrain that like Kanye West, damn, they don't make them like this anymore, which I still don't see what the relation between any of this is. Like
what
that
was the line before
and
that?
this beat and then what they're rapping about. Like I don't really see what they're talking about.
It was about buying a chick some new tits. And damn, they don't make them like this anymore. That was the reference to the line that they used. Yeah, that's
like I just think it's like a weak, like it's just weak. Like it just came out weak to me. Like Isaiah, like you're saying, like I've been waiting for Isaiah music for so long, and yeah, like a great Isaiah verse is like I'll take what I can get. But what I mostly love about Isaiah is that he can do a lot with. He's very versatile. Like he can do a lot over a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And to just kind of put him on a boom bap beat and be like, okay, spit 16 bars. I'm like, oh, damn. See, there's bingo. I'm like, damn, like I just want more dynamic Isaiah than that. And then Jid, I think Jid's an incredible rapper. He's just like every once in a while I just am not in the mood to listen to him. Like just like he just like
he kind of had a lax verse.
Like, oh man, I'm tired of it. Like,
I didn't love it until he started singing for a moment. I thought that was tight.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say though about that song, about Extinct. Right now we're listening to the Vince Staples song, which I enjoyed a lot. But the thing about Extinct with the Pennyroyal beat, it speaks to me to the core issue of this album is that I like that. It's kind of a cheap move. And not that it like, here's what I mean by that. It's a little sad to me that the tangiest beat on this project is a MF Doom beat that's been used several times on other people's albums. It's cool to hear it flipped with Isaiah and Jid on it. Do they both notch a 10 out of 10 verse? No. I like it a little bit more than he does, but at the same time, you know, I'm waiting for one of those just to be one of those kinds of beats, one of those kinds of decisions on this project to just be an original one. I would like that more. So yeah, I don't hate that move, but again, if we are really getting to the core of like, you're making an album and you're an artist who I think people would perceive as creative because you try to put a, more than just rapping into the project. You do try to go to the extra mile, but that's not all that creative to me. And some of the just some of the album doesn't sound incredibly creative. It does have a good message. It does have beats that can be catchy. It does have features by great rappers. There's a lot of great rapping on this project, but is it incredibly creative from a music standpoint? It's not. It's not the riskiest. It's not the most ambitious. Like, it's not. It doesn't really risk. I feel like a lot of people calling this trash, or, it's solid. It's solid. And like I said earlier, for an artist like this, we raised the bar a little bit. Like, the world is yours in this music shit right now. The world is your oyster. You can literally do whatever you want. And artists are doing whatever they want, and they are having success to the caliber of a reason. So there's no reason that he can't, stretch his arms a little bit and, not sound like such a Kendrick fan at times, when it comes to those some of the structural elements of these songs too, like rapping from the perspective of another person that you've talked about on a song before. Section 80. Good Kid, Mad City. It's been done 6 years ago. There are just there are things like that in this album that I don't want to like grade it so harshly, because the music does sound good. It's just, if we're really talking albums, and me and Trent do really like to talk albums on this podcast, those would be my biggest gripes with it.
Yeah. Also, what was it? I was reading tweets about, he apparently rapped something about Mac Miller that everyone was pissed off about.
Oh yeah, that was one track I reheard, and so that was one of those little story tracks, like, so you want to be a rapper, basically. And he did this from a female perspective too, kind of. And in the same verse, he talked about a female rapper trying to come up in the game without being basically preyed upon by the people who were trying to like work with her manager and stuff like that, and how hard to jump through all those hoops can be. Cool. The second verse was about a male in the position trying to come up in hip hop, and what struggles he might go through. So yeah, he did reference the Mac Miller part in, like, speaking about how this person is starting up a drug habit, and yeah, you could be the next Mac Miller, sign here. I didn't necessarily take offense to it, the way that he rapped it.
Yeah, I'm reading the lyrics, and I'm like, I feel like people just heard Mac Miller and kind of got defensive.
Yeah, I really
like
don't
that
think
he also said some shit about Logic. That's funny.
What did he say about Logic? I didn't catch that.
Let me see here. Oh, maybe this is on an old. No, this is new. Oh no, it's on a single. It's in the same
that's
article.
Right. He had that song where he called out all those names.
What song is that? The Soul Part 2. He said something. Tell me that I ain't did much. See, y'all mistake is. Dang it, stop scrolling. See, y'all mistake my name for Logic. See, y'all got me fucked up. How you compare one that takes from the culture versus. Okay, he basically just called Logic a culture vulture.
Oh, okay. Rip.
Anyway, it was in the same article. I guess there's just like thread of reason, just name dropping random people.
Yeah, because he has that one song where he literally name drops a bunch of people on that TDE release day, where they all dropped a bunch of singles. That shit was garbage. We made fun of that shit.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that shit was horrible.
Yeah, the shit was dumb.
We flamed that shit on here. Dumb. I remember that.
So, yeah, I hate to be the guy to shit on Reason for this album a little bit, because I'm going to literally turn around and suggest this to some people. Like, I know some people will not look into it that much, and like they'll mostly like how this thing goes like over the course of the project. I will give him some credit though on a song like Showstop, I think. No.
Oh yeah, this
No,
is
no, no,
more
no,
like
no,
this is more the kind of thing that I think he
no. No, I did not
will
like
be
that.
able to. What?
No, I didn't like that. I take
I
that
feel
back.
like this is the kind of shit that I think he could be more success. Not with people like us who like really dissect the shit, but I feel like if he's gonna be successful, he needs to find a way to make in a song that's both conceptual and thought provoking, like he can be, but also like higher energy. Because I don't think the like smooth boom bap shit is too played out for him.
Hey,
Like
what do you?
it's
Real
just too
quick,
obvious.
because I'm curious what you think about this song that's playing right now.
Which one's Fall?
Yeah.
This one's alright.
No, she can make it, believe it with every follicle.
I was gonna give him some credit with this song being a little different than the rest, being just him, and using a beat that's a little quicker and just a little different than the rest, and me
I
gravitating
like
to
it,
that
but
song being
I
one of
just
the
don't.
memorable.
Again, I don't think like necessarily what he's rapping about and the beat and his energy is like. Yeah, maybe I like it, but it's not gonna be something that gets him very far. You know?
No,
Like,
not sorry, not to what you're saying. Right, about
oh,
a
okay,
bigger
okay.
song. I'm just asking if you like it, I guess.
It's alright. I'd rather hear Isaiah Rashad speak. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, he would eat this. You're right.
I know he would destroy it.
You're right. I should have used that on this. That would be cool. I like this hook too, but again, like this isn't exactly nothing I've heard before.
Right.
Couldn't put my finger right on it. Maybe it's crosses elements from a few things that I've liked in the past, but a lot of this album feels that way to me. So, yeah. Okay album. Okay album. Pretty good songs. Pretty good songs. Okay album. Not great album. If y'all get what I mean when I say that, like, but we gotta keep it moving, keep it pushing. TBH, honestly. Let's talk Jay
Talking albums of
Electronica,
the month.
and then
Oh,
let's
oh yeah, I forgot about Jay.
yeah, and then we'll save albums of the month for last.